Good afternoon, everyone. This is Scott with Great River School. I'm attempting my first video for distance learning. The first lesson that we're going to be talking about is phenology. I'm going to be asking you to record a phenology journal. You all should be familiar with this, with the work you've done in Emily's class and some of the work on the Odyssey. Some things you should be looking for are changes in nature and some events that happen as they relate to the biology and climate. So, observations you can make in regards to, let's say, what's happening with the temperature and the climate. So I'm here on Pikes Island, which is in Fort Snelling State Park, and looking at the water here along the river. I'm not seeing any ice, so I think we've been ice-free for a while on the river. You might find some ice on some lakes. That's something to look for. When all the ice is out, that's kind of a phenological event. That's called ice out. So one thing I wanted to show you, an observation I've made here, is looking at the trees. Some of the trees here we're looking at, I have, if I can get it in focus, a bud from which looks to be a maple. Where is it? Right there. As you can see, there's some flowering structures on this bud. This is from a silver maple, and it comes from the very top, the very end bud on a twig. So you can see the flowering parts, and there's a bunch of flowers that will come out right there. So I'd like to show you what that looks like on a tree. There's lots of maples down here on Pike Island, Fort Snelling State Park. Let's see, here is a maple branch. I don't know if you can see it on the video. I'll try to zoom into a spot. There's some buds right there, and the very end bud is going to be the terminal bud, and the terminal bud is where either a new twig will emerge or some flowering parts of the tree will come out. That's just one phenophase, they might call it. You can say a phenophase. And that's something we're looking for as you go on your walks. What I'm going to encourage you to do is find a space near your house, neighborhood. It could be a park, it could be a woodsy backyard. Find a natural space that you can go to and make observations on a regular basis. If you can do it every day, that's great. Some of you may or may not be able to do that. If you can do it minimum, I'd say once a week minimum. Try to do it 3 days a week if you can. You're going to be able to see changes happen pretty quickly because, as you know, may or may not know, we had spring just came upon us with the spring equinox, which is on March 19th, which means equal night and equal days. So we're beyond that now, which means we have the coming of the light. So the days are getting longer. Each day, more and more sunlight until we will reach the summer solstice in June. But every day, as we approach that, we'll be able to see different things happening as it relates to phenology. And a definition I'll give you for phenology is the rhythmic and biological nature of events as they relate to climate. And that's the definition that I've used from John Latimer. He's a phenologist in northern Minnesota, and he has a phenology show on the radio that I'm asking you to listen to and to record some information in the form of a bubble map. That's Walter, my son Walter, and Lily are with us here. So we're getting some exercise and checking things out down here. I'm looking at another maple right here. Scene here is, if you can see on this tree, all the buds are starting to break open and show their flowers. Whoops. And that is there's one right there. That's a phenological event. And so if you're recording this down, you write down the date you observed it and what it is you observed. So we'll see if I can reach up and view this one. There's some other things you can look for and should make note of in your journal is different birds that you may be hearing or seeing. If you don't know, you can make a guess or describe the sound, describe what they look like. Certain times of year, birds will come and go as they migrate or start to nest or look for mates. I've been seeing Canadian geese starting to come back more and more. And I was down by the river the other night and I saw them, actually I heard them making some noise down by the water. That's something I would record down in my journal as well. That's about it for now. I'm going to wrap it up. Other videos I'll be taking for Phenology, they're most likely going to be at the Mississippi River Gorge, which is closer to my house in Minneapolis. I decided I'd start here with some notes on phenology at Pike Island at Fort Snelling State Park. Hope you're doing well, and continue to practice your social distancing if you're out in the world. Try to stay 6 feet away from strangers or other people that aren't in your family or your immediate group. And I miss you all. Hope you're doing well. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Hello again. This is Scott. Hiking around Pike Island again, and one thing that I just came across was this really interesting feature on the tree, and it looks like an animal's been chewing, or multiple animals been chewing on this huge tree. So let's take a look up how big this tree is. It's a giant one. So ultimately I think that will probably damage the tree. Walter wants to show this half a wood cookie he found. Cool. Yep. But ultimately, yeah, this will damage the tree. Could cut off the supply of nutrients from the roots. And the nutrients going up into the tree, leaves and twigs. And you'll see some beaver chews on lots of trees that are walking along here. And by this little wetland area, looks like that. So those are some other observations that we've been making here. All right, that's all for now.